Welcome back, Bravehearts all over the world, and I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf, and welcome to Doc Talk Live Q&A. Now, I am going to answer every question that comes up here today. I'm not in a hurry. Are you in a hurry? If you're in a hurry, you can bring your questions up. I will answer them. And I will be here to answer your questions, whether they're emotional, mental, physical, because guess what? Your questions matter. You matter. How much do you matter? What type of value do you put on yourself? Today's One-A-Day is going to be wrapped up in the Doc Talk Live Q&A. And today's One-A-Day, I'd like to call it this. I'm going to call it the burn. Now, the burn is the metaphorical resistance between where you are and where you want to be, okay? Everybody can get to the burn, okay? Everybody can get to the burn, but that's where most people stop, okay? I'm gonna tell you something right now. When people get to the door, that's when they stop. They don't turn the doorknob. They don't turn the doorknob. Guess what? We've been all set up that when we get to the burn, guess what? Are you ready? It's too hard, okay? Everybody can get to the burn, but that's where most stop, when it gets too hard. And guess what? We take the majority of the population that always stop before success because we have been taught to actually fear success. I had a meeting last night with approximately about 80 of our practitioners. And I want to say something. You know what the real epidemic is? The fear of success. What do I do when I get there? What do I do with it? And the reality is this. Don't worry about it. Because as I said yesterday, let time come to you. Let time go through you. Don't rush into the future, and don't go into the past and say, that's the way it is and that's the way it'll always be. Don't do it. You need to get this. When it gets challenging, when it gets tough, most people opt out, yes or no. They settle for what? Comfort. Yeah, you know what? How does it feel to be uncomfortably comfortable? And you know what? It isn't comfort. It's just something they're used to. It's just a program. It's just these prominent, dominant beliefs that tell you that you're comfortable. And listen, and then your subconscious says, I don't know what this other thing is, even if it could save your life, change your life, make your life for the better. But your subconscious will always stop it, whether it's going to kill you or save you, because your subconscious is the most fearful thing until you can actually go in and erase and replace belief systems. Why don't you just, you don't have to follow me, but why don't you just bop in every 2 months, every 3 months, and see that every 2 or 3 months I'll accomplish what most people take 2 years. And guess what? I'm not telling you I'm smarter. I'm trying to tell you that I know something. I know something. Stay the course, Daryl. Stay connected to your breath, Daryl. Let time come to you and go through you, because the present moment is the only place that you can heal or change your life. And that's the truth. People will settle for the familiar, yes or no. And life moves what? Moves on, but it doesn't go anywhere. But for some, they lean in. They lean in. They step into the fire. Okay, they step in, not the fire, they step into the fires of their own transformation. They forge forward into the alchemy of their potential, which is unlimited, by the way, which is unlimited, and you don't get it. You've created limited beliefs. And, oh, not you, they have. My God, mom and dad sent us to a government school, didn't they? Every public school, every private school, they've got their hands in there. Trust me, I sent my kids to government school and public school, and none of it worked. So understand something now. They forge forward into the alchemy of their potential. They surrender into the inner and outer metamorphosis. Are you ready to change? And by going where, right, few dare to go. And understand something. I will go where few dare to go because that's where the diamonds are. That's where the essence of life is. That's where my spirit gets sparked and fed. Because every belief that you have that's a prominent dominant one wants to be fed. And it will either feed on you or it will create the most amazing life that you've ever had. They are rewarded. Those brave hearts, okay, they are rewarded with the sacred gifts that are only reserved for the daring, okay, the bold, okay, and the brave heart, courageous one. And that's the God's truth. I'll tell you right now, what if all you did was practice courage? I'm going to practice courage. I'm not going to practice hope. Hope doesn't float. Hope does not float. I hope I get well. I hope God loves me. I hope I do enough that she loves me, he loves me. I hope this doctor's. I hope my life works. I don't like the word. It's a 4-letter word. You can't hope. And understand. And I'm not putting it down. But understand, religion loves the word. Okay? And that's because, guess what? You hardly have any part to play. You're either good enough or you're not good enough. Somebody else is always holding control. Somebody else is always going to make the decisions whether you're worthy enough to pass through the pearly gates or whether you're worthy enough to heal or have the things that you want in life. But guess what? Unconsciously, you created the belief systems that actually dressed you or messed you and messed you. Because your choices pick your clothes, what you wear. Your choices have created everything in your life, whether you did it on an unconscious or subconscious level, or you did it on a conscious level. Understand that. So if you don't want to be in the present moment and own it, if you don't want to learn what the burn is, because guess what? We're not going to work on we're going to work on the things that we want to be. We're going to forget everything that was ever put under the actual description as guilt or judgment. You're going to break your way out of jail because the biggest jail is invisible and it's your belief system. And they're not your belief systems. They're the others' belief systems, which would be the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, would be J.P. Morgan, and all these other families. And you know what? They're never going to go away. And guess what? I'm going to do what I need to do, okay, to stay in the present moment and own it and create. And let me tell you something. You know what? Did you ever see these guys that come on and they tell you how to make millions of dollars and they're so wealthy? You really believe it? Or do you think maybe they just created a strategy and a program? The reality is am I healthy? Do I hold the line for myself? When I tell you I'm going to do something, do I follow through? And also, in a shorter amount of time than the majority of the population, can I create something amazing in a much shorter time? Absolutely. Until you get yourself off the hook from everything, you're not going to have what you want. So you can either believe in their BS, that all of these ancient books that have been dragged through history, okay, if any of them hold you back from your healing, from being happier, for putting a smile, dancing, understand, loving life, I'm not going to waste today and I'm not going to waste the present moment. And the reality is if you decide that you want to become authentic, remember something, you will have to practice your courage. And when you are really calm and peaceful and centered into yourself, and you really know what's right within yourself, the world will come up against you in all different shapes and forms. Just smile. Let them know that you love them anyway. But just because the majority is doing it, it doesn't mean it's right. And just because the minority is doing it doesn't mean it's wrong. Because for the majority, it's just a bunch of stats. So don't act like the majority. Guess what's going to happen? You'll probably find your authentic self. So I would tell you to engage the burn. Get into the burn, okay? Because there's things that we need to burn if we're going to learn, if we're going to grow. We're going to have to let go. And it's going to be habits, traditions, religions sometimes, people, foods, drink. What do you do in your spare time? And just remember this. You are the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. You may not believe that, and I'm not telling you to stop hanging around with people. I'm just trying to tell you that make sure that when you actually want to aspire to be something, make sure that that person is actually on their way there, or they're actually there. And then guess what? You can mimic them. The reality is you're only going to become what you practice. Because practice does make perfect. And what if you don't practice anything at all? Well, you have somebody else that's programming you. That's probably been going on for your whole life. And then the reality is, it's kind of funny when you start really embracing and trying to discover that authentic self, you get yourself in trouble with people, don't you? Because they get fearful that they don't matter anymore. So make sure that when you're changing and you're growing and you're expanding, you're going to have to reassure people that you don't just love them. You love them unconditionally. And you would like to see the same thing from them. So right now, I just want to say that if anybody wants to come in with any questions, I will be here for that. The first thing that I'm going to talk about here today, though, is IGF. Okay? And can you grab me my IGF bottle right there? You can go right in front. Go right, cut right across. There you go. There she is. There she goes. Okay. So right now we have what's called IGF-1, and understand something. This is our biggest sale that we've ever had. And this, I'm not trying to do a sales pitch on you, so don't feel you need to buy it. It's not going to be long, but I need to mention it. Because if you buy 1, it's 30% off. If you buy 2, it's 40% off. If you buy 3, it's 30% off. And you see I have a little bit of glow on me right now? I take IGF-1 3 times a day. I take our 300,000 one because I am over the age of 30. Okay? And I demand a lot from my body. Have you ever seen me with my energy levels? Do you see that they ever go down? Or maybe sometimes, but not a lot. IGF-1, our IGF-1, if you were to actually analyze the IGF-1 that you made when you were a young child, teenager, right up until you're 30 years old, you're making lots of IGF-1. Does everybody know that IGF-1 actually comes from human growth hormone? So we all know about HGH, human growth hormones, right? And when we're younger, we have tons of it. That goes into your liver. Your liver makes IGF-1. And where do you think the fountain of youth is? It's in the IGF-1. Go do your own research. Don't believe me. And find out that some of the top athletes in the world actually take our formula, IGF-1. And that's the truth. Because IGF-1 is going to, if you continue to take it, if I don't take it tomorrow, I'm not going to experience it because IGF-1 is made by the liver. And whether you want to believe this or not, I've already told you the reason why human growth hormone leaves us and IGF-1 isn't made anymore because the human growth hormone depletes as we get older. And that's what really ages us. Guess what? That was a setup. Whether you want to believe that or not, the physical body was manipulated so that we would age, okay? Oh yeah, we've had enough of you, now you're going to age. So the reality is I don't go and spend tens of thousands of dollars for human growth hormone. I'm not going to play with that stuff. I mean, I'm not going to. I'm going to play with the product that was actually made by the liver. And if I were to give you my IGF-1, and let's say you went to a doctor, they wouldn't be able to tell the difference between what your liver makes and what you make. And let me tell you something. IGF-1 also creates a stronger immune system against cancer cells. That's research. IGF-1, it enhances healthy, youthful duplication of your cells. It helps to balance your hormones, but the big thing is the beautiful energy. Your energy goes like this. You'll feel your energy go up, and then it'll come down like a beautiful plane. And I will do IGF-1 3 to 4 times a day. And, you can do what it says, 17 drops on the bottle. I do like, I'll show you how much I do, because it's not toxic. So just so you know. So I'll actually do this twice. So that's a full eyedropper that goes into my mouth. And here's the deal. It's like this. I'm not expecting people to buy IGF-1 and do it unless you want the most beautiful, clean energy that doesn't steal from your organs. And at the end of the day, you don't feel like a truck hit you, even though you've been really... I produce every day, okay? As much as any 30-year-old on the ball, 25-year-old on the ball. And I'm just telling you that right now. And I really do. And you can check when you call into my office, because you can always call my 800 number and ask your health questions for free. Just know that. When you call in there, ask if Dr. Wolf just puts on a show, or does he have abundant energy. But I'm not going to give it all to IGF-1. I have abundant energy because I'm off the hook about everything. I don't carry any guilt about anything. If I accidentally, or even if I didn't hurt somebody or try to, I will apologize. I won't ever say sorry. That's a really bad word. That's self-loathing word. Sorry doesn't enter my vocabulary. I know I'm a little off track here, but I will apologize and then try to find out how to communicate and understand that person's vibration and the relationship that they have with themselves and the world. But the reality is that, I didn't do IGF-1. I don't do SON formula. I don't do Amino Boost. Okay, well, guess what? I don't eat for energy, because whether you want to believe it or not, eating is one of the worst forms of getting energy. You do get that, right? It takes 70% of your energy to digest the average so-called healthy diet. Okay? I eat 1 meal a day. I can show you all the science in the world that 1 meal a day, and the meal at the end of the day, if it's a whole plant-based, or if it's easy to digest, let's say it's a baked potato. Let's say that it's a large salad. Let's say that it's steamed organic vegetables. What a beautiful meal. And people will go, well, are you getting enough protein? Well, the reality is I don't do a lot of animal protein, but I do SON formula and I do Amino Boost, and I get all the amino acids more than you get, even if you ate a 12-ounce steak, and then you also had chicken for lunch, and then you had cooked eggs for breakfast. I still get more amino acids than you. And the reality is I'm a lean keen, and still, I'm not overly big, but I'm toned, and that's what you want. You want to be a lean, keen muscle machine. Okay, most people my age, and I'm heading to 67 here in just 3 months. So the reality is most people my age are not losing weight, they're losing muscle. I'm not losing muscle. But, you have to exercise. I know I'm a little bit all over the map, but I just want to tell you, I'm not giving IGF-1 all the credit, because my personality creates my reality and creates a lot of my energy, because a smile brings your pH up. A smile brings your vibration up. And I never talk about anything going on in the world that 99.9% of the population talks about, because it's all BS and it's all just, the whole political arena is just one big soap opera, and I don't do soap operas. I don't do them. I vote for me every moment of the day. I vote for me and I vote for you, and it's called unconditional love, and that's where my energy goes. When I was younger, people would say to me, you're not worldly. If you don't read the newspaper and do the news, you're not worldly. And I used to just go, yeah, okay, because I wasn't going to try to win. I wasn't going to try to win, because everybody thinks intellect is intelligence, and it's not. Intelligence is logic. Intelligence is loving and caring for yourself. And everybody spends their money somewhere. I'd rather spend my money on IGF-1 and get high. I'd rather spend my money on IGF-1. IGF-1 creates more collagen in the human body than any product. Once you do your homework, IGF-1 creates more toned muscle in the body, more tone in the skin. Look at my skin. Now let's get a close-up. You want to get a close-up of my skin? And this is, love the skin you're in. But the reality is take a real good close-up of my skin. There's no brown spots because I'm not moldy. I'm not an oldie, moldy, goldie. And look at this. Where's all the wrinkles that we get? And, it bounces right back. Well, this is IGF-1. You need to get that. IGF-1 is so powerful. And I will tell you, we might do this again. I'm not going to tell you we won't, but I'm telling you that it'll be rare that we'll actually give it to you for 50% off if you buy 3. And I will tell you this, everyone, that if you buy it and let's say you do this and it doesn't bring it up, that's because a little bit has got caught in here. So just run a little bit of hot water, put it in hot water for a second, and then it'll be fine. And give the bottle a good shake the first time when you open it up. Okay, please do that. And so that you can mix it all about. And understand something. I already told you that our IGF-1, there's no test in the world could tell the difference of what your liver makes and what we just gave you. Okay? And for some of you, I'm not even sure what the price is right now, but I know the price is right. And I know that that if you keep the wrapper on it, you keep it in the fridge, it'll last for years and years. But the reality is once you open it, you want to drink it because every time you open it up, right, and shut it, but you'll go through it. And how about not doing the coffee? How about not having the sugar? How about not the stimulation? How about actually doing something that actually, when you were younger and you could go out and party and get up and have that hangover, but you were ready to go again that night? Well, that was your IGF-1. When you hit your 30, you can't do it. And when you hit your 40, it gets worse. And then 50, it gets worse. And I'm not going to tell you I take IGF-1 to go out and party tonight to get drunk, so that I can take more IGF-1 tomorrow to go party again. My party is actually seeing what I can create and how much I can stir up out there. And I do mean stir up. When people say that I'm a troublemaker, I actually am a troublemaker. 99% of what the world revolves on is a lie. I can prove it. You come to any of my courses and I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you that, and it's not because I'm trying to down things, because I want to not call you out, but call you up. I don't want to call things out. I want to call you up, and you need to understand to harvest a spirit being, you have to poison them at every corner going. Jesus, your family, your friends, they've all been trained to take you down. Okay, forget the government and the medical system. They're not broken. They don't need to be fixed. They were created to do what they do. What do they do? Seriously. Oh, we have to fix the government. Really? Okay, that's like you're trying to say that something the way it actually is designed, you want to go in and fix it, but there's nothing to fix. So the reality is what I do is I don't do anything miraculous for you. I don't create a cure for you. I don't create a miracle for you. You want to shut those off? Just grab it. So just grab the whole bag, or they're right there. So what we do is we don't cure people. You know what we do? Do you want to know the biggest secret going? Okay? You've been robbed. You've been robbed. Everywhere in life, they're either going to give you, right, blue light poisoning, okay? They could have created beautiful healing light coming off this computer instead of LED lighting on here going in my face, and LED and frequencies coming off the TV and all these computers here. Okay, they could have put Tesla, Lahosky, okay, right frequencies coming off and we'd all be healed. Oh my God, oh my God. But no, okay, I already told you there's just one family, the Roth, and they, okay, orchestrate everything all the way down, and then all the little minions, okay, minions would be all the human beings, which I call ants, allowing negative thoughts, that spells ants, doesn't it? And what do? They just tramp on us whenever they want, and they orchestrate all this. So what I do is like this. I sell Teslas because Tesla will take blue light and 5G and 4G and all the cell phone frequencies. And if it hits the lenses, which means the eyes, it'll heal your eyes. If you were to do bright eyes and Tesla glasses, you would need to get a weaker prescription because you'd start getting headaches. And you can buy Tesla glasses with your prescription lenses put in. But the reality is, I'm trying to tell you is what they do is they steal from us. They rob the soil, they rob the food, they poison the food, they poison the water. How many people go out and buy bottled water? Well, seriously? Is that programming? That's beautiful programming. That marketing is the best marketing I've ever seen. You're actually going out and buying water. Why don't you buy you want to spend your money properly? Why don't you go out and just buy a really good coconut filter? It's coconut charcoal. And get a coconut filter. They're inexpensive. Put that on under the counter. Now it's way better than charcoal filter. That's why I do it. And I run that through there in my home. But when I'm traveling, all I do is I just use a structure unit. I don't buy bottled water. I never buy bottled water. Look at these guys at Costco and all that flexible plastic, which is made out of petroleum. And guess what? And when you drink water and you can taste the plastic, you just took a whole gulp of carcinogens. Seriously. And he's so proud because he can put that on his shoulder in the lineup, take it home. And the reality is this. The best water in the world, which is better than anything out there. They've got these machines that they alkaline and they ionize, and they're worth around $4,000. I don't need to mention any name. And they're just so life-breaking, and they're not. Okay? Get yourself a structure unit. They go on sale sometimes, $300. And then take a look on my website and take a look at what's called cell power. Between a structure unit and a cell power unit, I promise you, if you've got a purified water, I'm giving you the highest frequency, highest infused light, the most powerful healing water. They are generations ahead of everybody. I challenge anybody out there in the water field. I challenge anybody out there in the health field. I challenge anybody in the science field to actually prove that I'm giving you a marketing BS tip right now, because I'm not. If you want the best water in the world, okay, and I'm going to tell you right now, a cell power, you can order it direct. It's going to cost you around $25 US, okay? But that thing's going to last you a minimum probably of 7 to 10 years, okay? All right? And when you structure your water and then you put it into this vessel, you have never drank water like this ever, ever. And the problem with these other units that say that they make alkaline, ionized, electric charged water is they don't structure and you can't clean the plates well. And that's a problem. And these things are around $4,000. Okay? I'm going to give you a 90-day money-back guarantee on my structure unit. And then try the cell power. And I think that's a 60-day. But the reality is this. It's going to blow your mind. It's gone past everything about water. So we're talking about energy today, and I only brought up the IGF-1 because, this is energy in a bottle. This is youth in a bottle. This is, everybody talks about taking collagen, right? Okay. This creates more collagen in the human body than taking collagen. Thank you. Okay. Anyways, let me see if we've got some questions here, all right? Okay. And how to remove aluminum from the body. All other metals now zero. 2 years on Doc of Detox protocols. Well, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that aluminum will be removed by black diamond and black gold. Black gold will look after the digestive tract. Where's the black gold? Right there, love. The black diamond, right here. So black gold will go into your digestive tract. It's not expensive. You only need a teaspoon twice a day, and you can mix it into your soup. You can mix it into your drinks, but it doesn't break down. The best place is actually in a blender drink, and you should be doing 2 large blender drinks a day. I got 1.5 quart of a blender drink over here, and you can believe it or not, but I've got a tablespoon and a half. You don't have to do as much as me, but I've got a tablespoon and a half of black gold in there. Okay, so I've got a tablespoon and a half of black gold. The black gold will go in and get rid of every heavy metal, every parasite, and all the chemicals, and drop off 60 to 70 trace minerals, and load itself up 300 to 400% of its weight in heavy metals, parasites, and chemicals. And it does from my mouth to my rectum. And it also restores my good bacteria in my bowel better than any other bacteria product. And it restores mummy's bacteria, which is the only one that really matters anyways. The black diamond actually is for the brain, the blood, and the cells. It's nano. Oh, and by the way, my humic fulvic in both of these products, it's the only pure one on the planet. We do not use any chemicals in the process. Do your research and find out. Okay, so with this, you know, depending on how much detox you need to do, and understand something too, the person was talking about the aluminum. If you were to add 40 to 80 drops of my Ormus, okay, Beyond Ormus minerals to your drinking water, between those three things, see, what you don't get is this, and I am not trying to be disrespectful, but those people who do parasite cleanses 3 or 4 times a year don't know what they're talking about, because it's issues in your tissues, because it's tissue integrity. If you want to try a perfect day out where you actually create a protocol from the moment you rise till you close your eyes, gentle baby loving steps, you're not going to have a parasite problem, a heavy metal problem. You're not going to have a chemical problem. You got to understand that they have put heavy metals in the air, in the water, in the food. They shove it in everything, and they don't have to say anything. Good God. Do you know this? That why don't you just check this out? Okay. If you started putting a formula on your baby and you found out your baby got a really bad rash, and then you found out that it had carcinogenic chemicals in that formula, skincare for the baby, whatever it is. I'm just taking a baby for an example. That's all. We could do an example on anything if you'd like. But you understand? There's no protection for nobody here. And the reality is this. If we found out that there was carcinogenic chemicals and it was actually causing skin diseases and disorders for babies, the FDA will do nothing. Will do nothing. If you don't believe me, I'll tell you what I'll do. Rafa, there's a video I gave you about the FDA, and where it's actually in front of the Supreme Court. And there's a lady talking about putting different different moisturizers and things on babies. I gave it to you this morning. I want you to get that ready and give it back to me, and I want to play it today. You gave it back to me already today? Okay, well, I'm going to play it after this show, and you're going to find out there's no protection for your babies, baby, and there's no protection for you except wake-up call. And you got to understand, only the minority of the minority are ever going to wake up. And because this planet is boot camp training for spirited people. People that actually believe everything they hear, or most of it, they're not rising. They're going down. So understand, if you were to do daily cleansing tea, when you're at home, and when you're traveling, take daily cleansing tea caps every night when you're traveling. Whether it's a plane, whether you're going on holiday, you'll have a better holiday. None of my products, the daily cleansing tea or the daily cleansing tea caps, have any stimulants in them. Look at my phone number is 469-861-8884. I want you to call me up and tell me that you paid for something and I ripped you off or I lied to you, if I do. Okay? I don't mind you challenging me. Okay? So you can actually call me up and do that. Okay? All right? So take a look. Here's the daily cleansing tea. This is a year's supply. You don't have to buy a year's supply. It's just a bigger bag. This is the daily cleansing tea caps. You haven't taken a product that, look at, my daily cleansing tea will clean all your detox organs, and the body's mainly made out of detox organs. This is the part I really love, okay? I had a doctor call me up and said, you know, I follow you, and I think your stuff's pretty good. I mean, there's things that I like, and people always give me a percentage. He says, 40% of what you say I believe, and the other 60% I don't. And I go, well, That's okay. I'm not offended, but I don't need to know why you don't believe in it, because you're going to have different belief systems because you have a different teaching than I do. You're a medical doctor, for God's sakes. Even getting you to believe in 40% of what I say, man, I feel honored. Thank you. Now, the reality is what he said was, I don't believe in your daily cleansing tea or your cleansing caps, because the body actually, and he's right, he had me there. He had me there. And what he said was, your body, I may show it again. Your body, okay? He says, your body, Dr. Wolf, your skin is your largest detox organ. And then you've got your kidneys, and then you've got your liver, and then you've got your bowel, and then you've got your lymph system. And he says, that's almost everything. You know, the reality is we don't need to do cleanses. And I go, you're absolutely right. We were created by God Almighty, and guess what? If you guys didn't poison us with your drugs, and if you didn't do all the surgery that creates inflammation and calcification and scar tissue formation and creating all these blocks in people and ages them, but mainly it's the drugs you sell, they're poisonous. And most of the time I'm trying to get rid of all the poisons that you've given people, because you've destroyed their good bacteria in their bowel with your antibiotics. And then with all your chemicals, you've destroyed their liver. Well, that's what an inflamed liver is. I said inflammation of the liver is called a fatty liver, and cirrhosis is just one with scar tissue. And I said most of this is created by drugs. If you take a look at anybody that's been on drugs, do your own research. And the reality is I'll tell you what, if you guys will just back off and not give any more drugs, and if we can get food corporations to stop poisoning the things we drink and eat, okay, if we can do that, then I promise you I will back off, and I won't talk about cleansing. If you stop poisoning my brothers and sisters, okay, that do not understand they're being poisoned, I won't have to sell daily cleansing tea and daily cleansing tea caps. And also, and if you would get the actual agriculture industry and talk to little Billy Willie and get him to put the humic fulvic back into all the soils, because they strip it out of there on purpose. That's why I have to sell them humic and fulvic. And, you know, and then I'll get this, you're just a quack snake oil salesman trying to feed off people. Well, the reality is, I'm going to tell you, everyone, and you better get this. If you think that you can go out and eat a good diet, and I mean, even if you follow my Perfect Day Guide and you're not going to do nutraceuticals of the quality that we have, you're never going to have the vitality that you could have had, because they stole it from you. You know, every time they steal something from you, you know, they're lowering your frequency. And you need to understand this, okay? Human beings were created as slaves. Whether you want to believe it or not doesn't really matter. But then you must be really shut down on that. And the reality is that those people I told you that were in charge, they're not really in charge. They're just serving another entity that lives off the emotions of human beings, and we actually are their generating system. And you can believe that or not believe it, but it's my story, and I'm going to go with it. And the reality is that with happy people, they still live off our emotional, because we're emotional beings. That's why they feed off of us. And the reality is though, but when they create a war, or when they create death, and when they create fear, and when they create hate and anger, and they create pain and suffering, then it generates for them hundreds of, maybe thousands of times more energy. Wow. And you know what? Everything is energy. Oh, wait a minute here, Dr. Wolf. You're a quack. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, okay. All right. Well, come on my show. 469-861-8884. And it's called emotion. They give you clues all the time. Emotion stands for energy in motion. It stands for energy in motion. That's what emotion stands for. Energy in motion. But I am the master of my emotions. Are you? When you're not the master, so, you know, they do feed off of me until my spirit no longer exists in this body. They feed off of me, but they're not getting much currency from me, because their currency is actually, their biggest currency, their gold, is actually pain, suffering, dying, divorce, disease. Are you with me yet? Division, dividing us. Black lives matter. Blue lives matter. Whatever the case, mind your own business, and that would be loving and caring for yourself and minding your vibration. The most important thing you have is your vibration. And that's the God's truth. And I didn't say Black Lives Matter because I'm political, so please don't come after me. It's not about that, okay? The reality is this. Okay, all right. Hate is their greatest food source. How's that working for you? Okay, let's take a look here. We got lots of questions. I think you guys are rolling. And guess what? I got to do a Braveheart Nation. It's called BHM Power Pack at what time? 3? What time is it now? Well, 12 o'clock. Okay, so we can rock this thing if you want. I'm here for you. Okay, all right? Let me see. We have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Oh, really? 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 Is constipation comfortable? Is heart disease comfortable? Is cancer comfortable? Is not having unconditional love for yourself and your spouse and your children, is that uncomfortable? No. Having conditional love for yourself, for your spouse and your children is the most uncomfortable thing you will ever do. But if you don't know better, you can't have better. And if you don't know better, there's no guilt here. But you could have better. You could have better. And I provide it for free. 90% of what I do and create is free. The Perfect Day Guide is free. Can you take a close up right here? This is the Perfect Day Guide right here. Okay? The Perfect Day Guide, go there, download it, and look at the information. I guarantee that if you read my Perfect Day Guide, I will give you more take action, logical, 1 and 1 or 2 than any other book you've ever ever read in your life. And then I want to know the book that you read that gave you more take action than mine. Because I'd love to read it, because maybe I'll learn something. But as far as I know, this is all I know, but I haven't been everywhere, and I ding dang well don't know everything. How do you like ding dang well? And the reality is I know this much, and I know this really well. So when people talk to me about things they know I deal with, I talk very confident. And I know by talking to people, because I can tap into their personality, whether or not they're going to make it or not, because your belief systems decide your outcome. Thank you very much. And that's the God's truth. And they're not your belief systems. I already told you. They were already force-fed, like everything else has been force-fed, whether it's physical or it's invisible. Okay? All right. Josie, I've had 2 root canals in my life. They were on 2 bottom molars. I've asked to remove the tooth each time and they refused. Oh, really? Okay, so welcome to Nazi Germany. Okay, Ari? Okay, the the dental association is not into healthcare. Did anybody know that? So you call your dentist a doctor, he knows nothing about healthcare. Seriously? First of all, let's just make this perfectly clear. Silver fillings are 47% mercury. 47% mercury, and that's dripping into you continually. And any woman that has root canals, 50% of them will have breast cancer on the same side as the root canal. 50%. That was a study done. Make that perfectly clear. And understand this too. There's no such thing as a healthy root canal. There's no such thing as a healthy root canal. All right? And it's very costly to do a root canal. Okay, you want to put in a post and you want to put in a ceramic tooth. And some people say, well, I don't have a very good jaw because I have osteopenia, osteoporosis in my jaw and my teeth are crumbling. Well, guess what? Merigen and Dentagen, if you wanted to spend the money and you did 2 Merigen a day, 2 Dentagen a day, you'd have a 30% difference in your bone calcium in your jaw and your teeth in 3 months. And that's on average. But understand something, if you were to reduce your stress and anxiety, you would reduce your acidity, which wouldn't be eating up the calcium to try to buffer and make your blood and your tissues more alkaline so you don't end up with cancer. That's why you're losing your teeth and crumbling. Why do you think that they invented Halloween? They invented Halloween so that they could bring their goblins and ghouls and their terrible stuff in the shadows, and then they can fill everybody up with GMO candy and sugar and rot their teeth out so they can put silver fillings in. It's all just a setup, and then from there we go to Thanksgiving, which is a buffet pig out holiday, And then we go to what? Christmas, which is another one. And then we get to have the alcoholics holiday called New Year's, and we get to blow our brains out. And then we get to call COVID because there's no such thing as a live virus. It can't jump 1 inch less 6. And then guess what? You can't get rid of man-made chemicals, heavy metals, and poisons unless you're going to do it naturally, like with black gold and black diamond. Your body's going to give you a fever, or it's going to give you sweats, or it's going to give you diarrhea. It's going to give you a dripping nose, a dripping ear, a dripping vagina to try to get rid of this stuff, and you're going to call it COVID. Okay, let's get back to this. I know I was right for asking them to remove the infected tooth, but did not listen. 2 years ago, on one of my teeth, 3/4 of it came out mushy, rotted. I already told you that. Root canals are rotten when they put them in. Oh, let's just put something dead in there and keep it in there, and it'll be just fine. We'll pack all around it, and nothing will get at it, I promise. Do you really? I want you to sign that I can sue you. Okay. All right? Okay, like people say to me, Dr. Wolf, can my pets take this? Can my children take this? I don't have anything here that a pet or a child couldn't take, that it wouldn't affect their life in a positive way. They would shut me down in New York second. And also, I have integrity. You know, authenticity is a lot stronger than the vibration of love. And I want to be authentic, and I'm doing my best, and I will be there. And I'm not doing it for you and everybody else. I'm doing it because guess what? There is a God, and that God is the highest vibration that was ever created. And I don't even know what I'm even talking about because I don't know anything about this. I just know this, that if I'm going to humble down and have respect and honor for some authority, that is the only authority, and it would be universal intelligence. I will not humble down for any authority on this planet. Nobody, no how, ever. There is no one. And understand, dental doctors are not doctors. Okay? All right? It's just a way to print money. And guess what? You ever go to Canada, United States to get dental work done? It's ridiculous. I pay 20 to 25% down here for my dental work. And the place that I go in Zihuatanejo, okay, is what? The most unbelievable clinic I've ever been in my life. Every person only does one job, and they master it. That's right. There's 8 in this clinic, and there's only one person for every job. And they strategize, and they're all women. And I'm telling you, I would want to go to a place with all women. I don't want a man. I want a being that was born caring and loving. It was already built in. Men have to learn it. That's just like my Braveheart Nation app. It's all being created by women. You get that? Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm not making no mistakes. Okay? I don't need that other vibration going in there. I need the feminine power of creation in my app. Let me tell you something. I spent over $200,000 on this app, and I wouldn't let a man touch it. Okay? It's created by women, and the 2 main women, one is Mindy and the other one's named Bess. And I'm telling you something. Things just happen for the right reason. They always do. When you have faith, not hope. There's that hope again. Hope don't float, baby. Okay, 2 years ago, on one of my tooth, 3/4 of it came out mushy. Well, yeah, because it rotted out, and it smelled like something died in your mouth. I guarantee that was a smell. And understand, smelly armpits smell like your bum. Well, guess what? You're full of it. You should have brown eyes, not blue eyes. Okay, 3/4 if you came out mushy, rotted out. Now I have 3/4 of a tooth and don't know what to do anymore. Come to Mexico. Give me a call at 469-861-8884. You'll be able to fly down here. They will take care of these 3 root canals. And if you actually take the money that you would have spent, okay? If you take the money that you would have spent, all right? Don't bring up the slides unless I mention something, okay, Rafa? If you take the money you would have spent in Canada, United States, you could come down to here. You could have a holiday. It'd be beautiful at the beach. And You could go and get the work done and go home, and you'll be respected. Okay, and when you go in there, and if you say that the doc of detox sent you, or Dr. Wolf, then I promise you, it's amazing. Okay, don't go. Why would you go where you're disrespected, love? Why would you go where you're disrespected? Okay, understand something. Most people in every profession, let me tell you something. Give me an example. Just because you own a hammer doesn't make you a carpenter. And understand something right now. Most dentists, they are so scared because the dental association is a mafia, okay? And the way they gouge people for money and all the poisons they put in. Come on, here, swish with this fluoride. I will never go to a dentist, and I let my dentist know, I'm not taking your antibiotics. And understand something, I'll tell you why. Because I've got Silver Bullet Gel, okay? Why? Because I've got Healthy Mouth Essential Oil. And they can't even touch that. I've got Black Gold, Black Diamond. You know what? They can't even touch it. They can't even touch the power of our stuff. The frequency is way higher. I don't need antibiotics. What? You want me to put something in my mouth, an antibiotic, and swallow it, and have it go 33 feet, and then destroy the good bacteria in my large intestine, and then you're going to tell me that it helped the infection in my mouth. Why don't you just let me use Healthy Mouth Essential Oil and let me use Silver Bullet Gel and swish it around? And then why don't you let me just brush my teeth with Silver Bullet Gel? And then what I'll do is I'll put a sprinkle of actual Black Gold on it and 2 or 3 drops of Healthy Mouth Essential Oil, and I'll brush my teeth with that, and I'll never have any infection in my whole life. And if I was really scared and I was really, like, I had pain, it was hurting, I would put 2 to 3 drops of Immunity Essential Oil on my tongue, mix it with my saliva, move it over into here, and I would disinfect right down into the gum. That's the truth. Please. Really, there's nothing even to negotiate, because their products that, you know, even if they were as good as ours, I still wouldn't use them, but they can't even come close. So I'm going to set an atomic bomb off in my large intestine. Listen to me. If I had a life-threatening illness, which I never will have, because I don't believe in illness for myself. I believe in it for the majority, because they believe that they have to get health insurance because they're going to get sick. I'm not going to get sick. Now, the reality is that, guess what? Even if their product was better than mine, I wouldn't take it, because guess what? The side effects of that product is absolutely crazy. If I was on a critical situation, I would take antibiotics because I know how to restore my large intestine and bacteria again. But I wouldn't do it and take a shotgun to my head. Do you know how many people take antibiotics every time they have an infection and it never works, but they keep on doing it until they get pneumonia and then they pass on? Yes or no? All right, and pneumonia is a viral infection, but it's not alive, and it's just all the poison that you did to yourself. Thank you very much. Okay, and you know what? You may not like my sarcasm, but the reality is this. I don't know. The first 20 years, I tried to teach this other way. Oh yeah. Okay, I used to come with a suit jacket on and a shirt and look really professional. And now I just want to wear this leopard shirt and find my roar, because everybody's so much more. And I'd rather use my little bit of sarcasm, and because guess what? I need to crack your coconut from the inside out, okay? Because you need to drink the unconditional love juice that is you. And you need to understand there's no authority over you, and you need to become the new sheriff in town. Okay. I did not want to go back. What would you suggest? Also looking for a holistic dentist, and I'm in Sudbury, Ontario. For gosh sakes, get out of your comfort zone. Okay? Go to Toronto, get a direct flight to Zihuatanejo. Big deal. 4.5 hours. You land. Okay? All right? Okay, have somebody pick you up 15 minutes later. If we know when the flight is, we'll book you for an hour later. Go in, see the dentist. They're amazing. And if they have to do something like, take a mold, make a ceramic tooth, or do anything, we'll call before. We'll do a meeting. They'll have it all strategized. You won't have to be here forever, and you can get the job done. Okay, all right. Let me tell you something. Canada, United States, dentists, you want to disrespect us, gouge us, guess what? Let's go somewhere. We can go to the beach, save some money, and have a good time. Okay? Maybe get a margarita, but not too many. I knew you'd like that one. You like margaritas? I knew it. You can always tell when someone smiles, right? Okay. Let's see here. Question from Zoe. How to get rid of a fleshy growth outer corner of the right eye? It's been there for over 30 years. Send me a picture to 469-861-8884 and I will call you on this. I need to take a look at it. So would it be right here? Is that where it is? Okay. And then then we'll do a strategy, because if it's anywhere near the eyes, I want to help you strategize it. And I'm not going to give some loose information here. And I want to make sure it's done right, love. Okay? So I'm not putting you off. You know what? I got to tell you something. No matter if I don't say anything wrong, it's so easy for people to attack people in the natural health industry because we don't know shit and we're just after your money. Right? Isn't that true? Oh, and you only come to us because we're the last thing on the list, and then we're just going to get a little bit of money from you before we send you off. Boy, they did a good job teaching. Okay? How do you keep people to go to the medical system? Well, we just don't know it. And most of us are scam artists. Oh, and we weren't approved by the government, which I will never be approved by the government. Thank you very much. And I don't need your approval. And I already know the government's not broken. Okay? Already. All right. And I don't have any bad feelings. It's not going away. It's always going to be there. Look at how many people get involved and get all emotional. The more you give something attention, whether it's positive or negative, it keeps it alive. It feeds the entity. Okay. Can you tell us what the difference of the colors of the glasses mean? Well, the blue tinted ones are good for if you're outside a lot, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The tint really doesn't matter. Okay, these are brown or they're blue, right? And I wear these all the time. If you bump into me and I wear these until the sun goes down, and I wear these when the sun comes up. I don't wear them a lot on the show because I get too many comments. Is he hiding a black eye? Does he have black circles? What's wrong with him? Does he think he's a movie star? I don't know. Maybe sometimes I do. I'm kidding. But the reality is when my eyes start to feel like they're burning, like when I do 3 or 4 shows, you'll see me wearing them. But the reality is that I put my Bright Eyes Volvic drops in 6 times a day in my eyes. Whether you want to believe this or not, I can show you proof. I actually wore prescription glasses for a good part of my life. I didn't give up readers until probably 5 years ago, and that was actually because of Bright Eyes and the Tesla glasses and C60, MCTOL C60. I was doing a teaspoon of C60, and I was doing 1 8 times a day because I was told that if I did that my eyes would get better, my brain would get better, and I don't have glasses. I don't even have readers. I don't even have those cheap readers. I can see far, I can see close. So Alicia, so we would not need to take collagen if taking IGF. Well, I'm not a collagen guy. I never have been. I wouldn't take collagen. I don't take collagen. There are some collagens better than others, but it's not my thing. And there's many roads to the top of the hill. No, IGF-1, I just told you, IGF-1 makes more collagen. IGF-1 triggers the body to make more collagen than any other product. So do you think your collagen is going to be better than my IGF-1? Absolutely not. And you can't show me any science that proves that, because it's not true. My IGF-1 will make way more collagen and a higher quality collagen than yours. Can we set it up that it doesn't turn off, please? The black gold will kill parasites and expel them. Yeah, that's what I said. And the black gold will do it in the large intestine from the mouth to the rectum. And the black diamond will do it in the brain, the blood, and the cells. And that's what I said. People don't get it. You know, you have to make your own mind up. You have to understand something. Well, you hear what I said, your own mind up? People don't make their own mind up. Your mind is programmed. And not you, love, but the majority. Now, you have to understand something. The natural health industry has taken on the belief system the same as the medical industry. Come to us and we will fix you when you're broken. Why don't you come to me before you're broken and we'll give you a perfect day and we'll show you how to repeat that perfect day every day and you won't need us or them. You get that? Because if you actually had unconditional love for yourself and you were in charge of your emotions, you wouldn't throw yourself down the stairs or trip on a sidewalk. You know dang well that every time that you've ever injured yourself, okay, you were disrespecting yourself and you were overtired, you didn't eat right, okay, you were stressing out, you weren't in the present moment, and you got in trouble. A lot of people are going BS to Dr. Wolf. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm telling you right now, God loves you anyway, but you don't. And I mean that. Because I'm going to tell you something. You are way more than you know. You create everything. I didn't create the car accident. The other guy got charged. He created the accident. I didn't. You created to be there when he was there. You came together. You can believe it or not. It doesn't matter. But understand, I can take hundreds, maybe thousands of people since I've been doing whole life coach certifications since I was 28 years old, where people will tell me that, you know, the accidents, the flus, the colds, all the things that you take as normal become abnormal and they're no longer in your life because we are bigger creators than you think. Way bigger. Okay? Way bigger. All right. So the reality is black gold and black diamond, they will both look after all parasites, chemicals, and heavy metals. And because of the humic that's in it, so pure that you won't get sick if you're doing black diamond and black gold. And people that actually have problem with getting what we call viruses or flus or colds or COVID, we tell them to do an extra dose of the humic liquid if they find that's a problem. But Tummy Love was created, and we use that for lots for the ultimate coffee enema. But for children, there's nothing better with the mix, okay? Because with Tummy Love, it's 70% humic, which really balances their hormones, and 30% fulvic because they're not poisoned. Because the older you are, the more heavy metals, the more chemicals, and the more parasites you have because you've been rotting out longer. And there's no easier way to say it. But as your tissue integrity comes down, it's a bloody parasite party. And as your vibration is higher when you're younger, so we give them the humic because that really protects them against the flus and the colds, which we all believe that are normal, but aren't normal. Flus and colds are only normal in the children that their mommy says, would you like a treat, sweetie? Oh, and it is a sweet treat, isn't it? If you're really good, mom will poison you. And I know that I'm sometimes a bit of a bugger the way I talk. But the reality is that children are being poisoned more than any other age group because if they're really good, they get to be poisoned more, don't they? Isn't that something? It's so easy to program people when they don't realize there's a program going on. Okay. Brenda, when should you use infinite iodine versus infinite iodide? Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. I do 5 drops of infinite iodide every day. It goes directly to my thyroid. That's where the iodide goes to. And infinite iodine, it goes in, it'll neutralize and dismantle a virus in 15 seconds. Those aren't my words, that's a study. It will bring down any type of bacterial infection or viral infection. It'll pull it apart. So you don't have to. You could do 5 sprays a day of just infinite iodine if you're on a budget. I do 20 sprays a day of infinite iodine, and then I do 5 sprays of infinite iodide. So, if somebody has a thyroid problem, I would put them on. I wouldn't put them on anything. I would suggest to them if I was in that situation, because that's the best way to talk, right? I'm not them, and I'm not going to tell them what to do. But I would put them on 5 sprays of infinite iodide, and then I would put them on probably around 15 sprays of the 20 sprays of infinite iodine. And I'll tell you why. They have a low thyroid problem because they're toxic. They have a low thyroid problem because they terrorize themselves. And if you're a 10 out of 10 terrorizer, okay, then what happened is that you would have what? Hyperthyroidism or a thyroid storm, okay? All right? So hyperthyroidism, that person's just a terrorizer, and that's it. And they don't even know it. And they could be a silent terrorizer. But trust me, do your homework, do your research before you decide to judge me too quick. Okay? All right? LOL. Been doing this a couple of months and already see improvement. Well, just know that my infinite iodide is the only toxic-free, is the only toxin-free, poison-free iodine on the planet. Oh, people just, that can't be. He's always saying his products are this much better. Well, because I made sure. People come to me with products, probably about 6 a week. A week. I'm only going to keep the things that are going to rock and the things that are tested to be the highest vibration. And no toxicity, thank you very much. No cutting corners. The cleansing caps, the daily cleansing tea caps really help my hubby stay regular when traveling for work. It'll save his life. It'll save him from prostate inflammation all the way to stage 4 inflammation. It'll save him from bladder infection and the loss of his erection. And that's the God's truth. So now is it worth it? Daily cleansing caps, 1 every night before you go to bed. If you don't want to make the tea and you're going to set yourself free, you're going to eliminate 85 to 95% of your symptoms, and you're not going to get the cellulite, the fat cells. You're not going to bloat like other people, okay? When traveling for work, when his schedule gets messed up, well, everybody's schedule gets messed up if you travel in a car too long, or if you're on a plane, train, doesn't matter, automobile. Are cleansing caps new? No, we've had them for years. They've been with me forever. Daily cleansing tea caps. I have had them since I had a homeopathic herbalist who's no longer with us anymore, designed the tea, and that was back when I was 28 years old. So it's been a while, a little while, okay? A little while. Perfect combination for diabetics: coffee enema, black gold, plus daily cleansing tea. Yeah, it's going to really help. Okay, for a diabetic too, get them on super cinnamon in their drinking water. It's mind blowing. It'll really help them balance their blood sugar levels, and it's sweet, and it'll curb their sweetness. Okay, for anything, and it also helps with diabetes. Yes, and if you want to learn about food combining, just go to my Perfect Day Guide. Okay? All right? Go to my Perfect Day Guide. What's going on with this? Okay. Thank you. Food combining is important, and whether you want to believe this or not, okay? Whether you want to believe this or not, you have been taught to pig out at your meals. You've been taught not to food combine. You've been taught to actually just throw everything together. Oh, isn't it great? They come up with new food all the time. Did you ever notice they've never come up with any new food that is good for you? So never eat more than 1 protein at a meal. Always have a protein with, you can have a protein with salad and vegetables. You can have a carb with salad and vegetables, but don't eat protein and starches together. And if you do, don't overdo it because you're going to bloat. And just know this, that your average meat and potato man, woman, they really want to go for that walk, but after they eat, they don't have any energy. They're just burping and farting, and thank God they do fart because it gets them from the table to the couch where they can fall asleep. The reality is this, if you want to overload your digestive tract and disrespect it without knowing, then you're going to age and you're going to suffer. And if you want, go take a listen to the masterclass called Spoiled Rotten, okay? The All-American Meat and Potato Man. It's in my library. And I have more masterclasses free in my library than anybody else. You can even get my Braveheart online emotional masterclass, which was $1,200, and it's free. They're all free now. I just make them free. Reverse the irreversible and find out you really didn't need the surgery. That why you got set up for the surgery and why doctors set you up for the surgery and they don't even know it. The doctors aren't bad, their belief systems are, I'll tell you that much. When are your sunglasses going on sale? I really don't know. I probably will do a spring sale, and I will make it as deep and as powerful as I can because I know people are suffering. And I can only do the sales as big and powerful as I can to the point that I still have 30 people that work for me, whether you see them or you don't see them. And I got to make sure the operation keeps going. You know, the good thing is you should be all glad of one thing, is that I'm past the age of seeing how much money I could make or how big or great I can become. You know, I do have the inner standing that it's always been about going inside. It's always been about finding peace within, not without. It's always been about loving myself and my life and staying in the moment. When that becomes the most important thing, yeah, it is the most important thing. Mina, your fulvic nano drops are amazing. My eyes feel so healthy. Thank you. On it, it'll say 1 drop twice a day, but that's not true. If you do 1 drops, even up to 12 times a day, we can't hurt your eyes. If you did 12 drops of what you got from your doctor in your eyes or from your optician, you would destroy your eyesight. You would destroy your eyesight. Don't believe me? Can't put drugs in your eyes and think you're not going to destroy something. But you could actually go up to 1 drop 12 times a day. And, you know, I used to get a stymy eye feeling like a needle. And I would put in a drop in my eye. And then as soon as the little bit of burning would go away, I'd do it again. And I might do it about 6 or 8 times. And it was gone in 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, I put a drop in my eye, Dr. Wolf, and nothing happened. Yeah, because I don't deal with drugs where we're trying to tell your eye to shut up and shut down, even though the inflammation and the infection's still there, but you can't feel it. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Okay, I'm not kidding. So the reality is, if you've got a 20-foot hole, we need a 20-foot ladder. So, you know, I am actually going to be changing things. I'm going to be actually saying, put 1 drop in your eye up to 12 times a day if you've got some kind of eye dis-ease, which means you have actually where you have tissue rot in your eye. That's really what it is. Wherever in the body that you have something called a disease, that tissue is actually rotting. If you could smell it, it would be rotting tissue. Low vibrational tissue, and rotting tissue has worms, heavy metals, fungus, okay, all right? It has it all. The parasite party comes. The lower the vibration, can you grab that for me? The lower the vibration, the more inflammation, the more scar tissue formation, and the more deterioration until you're at mutation. How's that? And mutation only happens when you're 35% short of oxygen. Okay? That's it. 35% short of oxygen in a cell is what they call cancer. And I've said it all the time, I'm going to keep repeating it. Go ask your doctor when you end up getting what they call cancer, which is stage 4 inflammation, which is inflamed, which eats up the oxygen, and that's why you're down 35% of oxygen for more than 3 days, so the cell has to mutate to save itself. And because your diet isn't great, you can live off the sugars and the lactic acid, and then when the cancer cells start breeding, what is their byproduct? Lactic acid to feed the new babies that come. Gotcha. And it's all about inflammation. Inflammation is, I don't even believe that cancer spreads throughout the body. What spreads throughout the body is actually inflammation, thank you. And guess what? That's how cancer started, and how it spreads is lack of oxygen. Oh no, cancer is a parasite problem. No, parasites come there because it's low vibrational tissue. No, it's a fungal problem. I read it. Hulda Clark said that, cancer is a fungus. No, she did not get the Nobel Prize for discovering cancer. Dr. Otto Warburg did. When you get low oxygen, okay, you will get fungus. So it's not a parasite problem. It's not a fungal problem. It's not a heavy metal problem. It's an oxygen problem. It's a circulation problem. And when you do get a mutated cell, you've calcified your mitochondria so they can only spin 300 times a second. And they used to spin 2,500 times a second. And now guess what? You don't make enough ATP, okay, to set yourself free or have any energy to heal. Bam! And this is why today I'll be on with the Power Pack show, because we have a device called a cardio med bed. And that med bed will give you perfect circulation, and then the actual Cellsonic will bring your vibration up higher in your cells than anything else. And it can do it in one pulse. It can shut down stage 4 inflammation in one pulse. And I never, ever said cure. I said that the body can cure itself when you create the perfect day and you repeat it every day. You can then become the master of your reality. That's the garbage truck, everybody. I'm in Ixtapa, Mexico, and they have the music playing, and the music plays loud. Okay, did you hear the music? Music plays loud to let everybody know that the garbage men are here. Oh, and guess what? I live in a third world country. Oh my God, Dr. Wolf, you can be okay from the cartel? Oh, so far it looks okay. Oh, Dr. Wolf, let me tell you something. They collect garbage every day from my house. Every day is garbage pickup. This is a third world country, right? There's no GMOs. There's no chemtrails. Okay, there's only organic food. They don't have pesticides and herbicides, so they don't have the genocides. Do you understand? So, we have to listen to that music, but the music's telling us, hey, get the garbage out of your home. Get the garbage off the streets. We need it clean and beautiful here for everyone. Yeah, this is the third world country. I'll be staying here, thank you. Okay? And I'll come to visit where I used to live in the United States and Canada. But the reality is guess what? This will be my home. What you think you know and what you really know is something. And it's not because you're ignorant. No. It's not because you've been dumbed. You're dumb. It's because you've been dumbed down with their beliefs. My God. Think about it. What if you were a family that was ruling the planet since the beginning of time? Wow, do you think you might have an ego problem? Do you know what they think about me and you? It's called ants, allowing negative thoughts. And you're an ant until you stop. Donna, I was told to take antibiotics for life. Well, you go ahead, okay. All right, a little bit of research would have told you that all you were doing was talking to somebody with moronic thoughts, what made him into a moron. Okay, because we know that antibiotics should never be taken unless you have a life-threatening situation. And if you'd like to create one, go ahead and do it. So why don't you ask your doctor if antibiotics destroy the good bacteria in your body plus the bad bacteria? And why don't you ask him if it actually takes the yeast in the bowel and turns it into fungus, and then they become drill bit predators, and they make holes in your large intestine, and that's what's called leaky gut, which is called autoimmune disease. Why don't you do that? And then wonder why you have a sinus infection and why you've got fungus in your toes, why you have toe fungus. Well, that's why you do, okay? And that's what systemic candidiasis is, okay? For life, for rheumatic fever, all you had to do is do the ultimate coffee enema. Thank you very much. Okay, you might need to do a little bit of therapeutic vomiting too, because you remember something, not everything physical was made from the physical, it was made from the emotional. So what gives you fever, baby? What makes you burn up? What gets you all revved up? Okay, what does that? What gives you that fear, that anxiety, that pissed off feeling? Okay, well, that's not rheumatic fever, Dr. Wolf. Really? Seriously? Everything that is physical disease is a disease, meaning you're not at ease, which means you're out of alignment. And the reality is, if you can bring down, I don't care in any condition you want to talk about, if you can actually do therapeutic vomiting, do vaginal infusion, and the ultimate coffee enema, if you're a woman, we can reduce anything that quick without any negative effects. And I didn't say we would eliminate it totally, because that will depend on your belief systems. And it will depend on how long you're going to stay the course, or how many family members or friends are going to berate you and tell you, what are you, some kind of a health quack? All right. Zoe, thank you. Got it. Will do. Great. Betty, I read sunglasses are not good for you. Well, why would they be? Okay, they're blocking all the good from the sun. The sun is the greatest healer. It's beyond any healer we have on the planet. Okay? And these are not sunglasses. These are fluorine lenses, which means they have the vibration of the C60 in them. This is all science, so this is not hoopla. So anybody tries to say, oh my God, he sells these things and they sell at the price of designer sunglasses. Well, they should, okay, for what they do. And I'm telling you, I know that they make them a lot cheaper than they should be sold for, but it's what they can do. I don't jack them up. We sell them for around, I think, $450 to $5 something. I don't know. I don't even know the prices of my stuff. Isn't that something? But the reality is this: these are not sunglasses. These will take even the sun and actually make the sun's frequency more powerful, more healing. Because guess what? All eye damage, okay, unless you got a stick in your eye, is brain damage. You didn't know that, did you? Because your eyes don't see. So what happens is the light, the frequencies, but let's talk about the light first. So what happens is when the light comes, okay, and the frequency comes, guess what? Your optic nerve looks like it's backwards, but it's not. Your optic nerve slows down the light, slows down the frequency so that it can be processed. And guess what happens? Your brain makes the pictures. Yeah, your eyes don't see. Your brain sees. So when you can no longer see, you've damaged your brain. You've damaged your brain through alcohol, sugars, chemicals, but the biggest poison of all today, even worse than 5G, is blue light poisoning, and it's on every cell phone, okay? It's on every TV, it's on every computer, it's every LED lighting, which is this everywhere. And guess what? 10,000 teenagers are being diagnosed with cataracts. Cataracts didn't happen to people in their 70s, 80s, 90s. Now, 10,000 kids are being diagnosed with cataracts. That's blue light poisoning. Where do you think all of these other conditions, detached retina, they're all from inflammation. They're all from sugar. Sugar, okay, eye degeneration is sugar, and it's blue light, okay? All right, diabetes, okay, what's Alzheimer's? A sugar problem, which then becomes a heavy metal problem. Oh, sugar's something else, isn't it? From 1900 until now, we accumulate 100 times more sugar in a year than in 1900. My God, why don't you go look at 1970 on the beach? You couldn't find an overweight person, and it was rare, or a fat person, or an obese person. And today, guess what? Isn't this something? We have hit 86% of the population in North America are overweight or obese. 40% are obese. They changed obesity from 10 pounds to 40 pounds. Now, aren't you comfortable? You're more comfortable now, right? And seeing that I am the minority, I'm scared to go to the mall because I might get eaten. Okay. No, I do not sell oxygen boosters, but if you want oxygen booster, then guess what you'd look at? If you needed something to go hardcore great, you'd look at Merigen. If you wanted an oxygen booster, you would look at Critical Care Thundershrooms. Those two together will take somebody that's on their way out and change reality. Oxygen boosters are only for the moment. I want to change your metabolism and all the way down to your cells so that they can pick up and create more oxygen. How's that? You just asked for a stimulation. I'm not going to stimulate, I'm going to regenerate. That's what we should do. And if you want an oxygen booster, then why don't you get a structure unit? And I don't have it here. Why don't you get a Cell Power Vessel? Go on my website and take a look at Cell Power Vessel and then order one. Those two things alone are going to increase your oxygen. People don't understand that. People say to me, Dr. Wolf, my breathing's not good. Should I get an oxygen tank? Well, if you want, if it's going to make you more comfortable. But that's not the deal. And most people that have will want more oxygen. All you got to do is do Wolf non-surgical between the ribs. It's our elbow technique, and open up the ribs. That will increase your oxygen uptake by 30% minimum. And then if we use Cellsonic on here, and we actually bring down the inflammation and the calcification, we're going to go further. And then if you were to actually get, give me 1 second. It's a brain fart. A nebulizer, this is a portable one. I would pay $125 to get a plug-in at home and put infinite iodine in here and then start nebulizing it. Guess what? Just so you know, there's no COPD. There are no lung problems. They're all the same. And what's the problem? Well, infection creates inflammation. Inflammation causes mucus formation like crazy because the mucus is being used to try to protect the cell lining. And now you're making too much mucus, and guess what? You're drowning your alveoli to pick up oxygen with mucus. You don't need more oxygen. You need healthy tissue, so you don't have issues in your tissues. You're going to have parasites in there. You're going to have fungus in there. Okay, you're going to have heavy metals in there as soon as it degrades. And they know this. So just remember this. You got to have infection to have inflammation to have mucus production go crazy to try to protect the lining. And if the inflammation continues, you'll have scar tissue formation in your lungs. And all of that can be reversed. So get non-surgical, get yourself a clapper, and clap each side 10 minutes. And get Cellsonic, if you can get it, to decalcify the mitochondria and decalcify the tissues and bring down the inflammation in this and turn the scar tissue back into connective tissue. And then do the nebulizing. And then drink warm to hot water with black diamond in it, okay? And then take curcumin cayenne 5000, 1 to 2 of those every other hour. And let's do this for 3 to 6 weeks and tell me I haven't rocked your world and taken someone that they were, and guess what? When you start nebulizing and you take one breath, and that's all you can do, of the infinite iodine, just one breath of it, when you nebulize it and you cough, then just relax and then do another little breath. And guess what? In a few days to a few weeks, you'll be breathing it like this. That's how you do it. You don't drug down. You don't go to surgery first. I'm not telling you to stop it. You do whatever you want. But God, give your body a chance. Just give it a chance. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something, and most people don't like this, but people will pick the treatment. They will pick the supplement. And if it's a toxic treatment, if it's a toxic supplement, how much love do they have for themselves? How much fear do they have? How much education do they have in what's really going on? Did they do any research, or did they just come from a fear decision? This is amazing. That's all I'm going to say. And if you go to my library, which has tons of master classes, go in and look at Clapping for Life, Clapping for Health. And I show you how to clap the whole body. I show you how to clap if you've got COVID. There's a whole master class in there. If I were to talk about everything that I have in this library in self-care master classes for you, it would take a whole show. Show up. Show up for yourself, okay? Show up because you're worth it. Say it right now to yourself. I am beautiful. I am love. I am whole. I am healed. That's where you need to be. Don't focus on what they want you to do. They want you to focus on the dis-ease. Disease only exists if you believe it does. If you believe that beautiful health your whole life. But remember, you got to take massive personal action and create a perfect day and repeat it every day until, guess what? It's in your subconscious. You don't have to think about it anymore. And you know, when somebody says something to you like, do you want another drink, or do you want to eat this crap or this crap? You'll go, no, thank you. And you'll just do it. But you're not going to be able to do it unless you give yourself the love that you need to thrive. And guess what? You're only going to survive if you count on everybody else's love. And isn't that great? And then if you don't do something for someone, they play love ransom. Isn't that a lot of fun? Isn't that fun? I'm not playing. I won't do it. One more question. Good afternoon, Dr. Wolf. What is the best way to treat herpes, cold sores, infections, orally and topically? Well, this is somebody that's burning up. You know, I never had herpes until I did something. When I was in college, there was a graveyard, and I would go there to study. And so it was springtime, and I wanted to get a tan. And I think I actually might have smoked a joint too. Not sure. Because I think it knocked me out a little bit. But the reality is that it was a long time ago. But I'll tell you what I don't forget. I don't forget that I used a solar blanket, you know, those silver ones, and I put it on the ground. And then I fell asleep. And I woke up. And that was the first time in my life I had a cold sore. Now, but the thing is, it was always in me. The herpes virus was always in me. Everybody has it. You might not get a cold sore. I believe that, you know, on a emotional level, I think cold sores, depending if they're on your lips or they're down in your groin area, I think it depends on the actual how self-loathing thoughts are of yourself. You know, we get things in certain parts of our body depending on the dysfunctional beliefs that we feed, and how much we feed them is how bad it's going to be. And we don't even know that. That's the first thing. You can believe that or not. I believe what got rid of mine was heavy-duty dosages of curcumin cayenne 5000, drinking more structured water and high-frequency water like you get from the Cell Power flask. And the other thing is I really backed off on the sugars, the flours, you know. But I will tell you, let's see how easy it is for you to lose it. How easy it is for you to go into anxiety. Because the main thing that sets these off, you'll always see it, is either you did a sugar binge, alcohol, or one other thing that really set it off is terrorizing yourself or going through a lot of anxiety because you become acidic. And that's when they show their ugly head. I can give you a protocol. Look, guys, I don't say it a lot anymore, but for $150, you can get a consultation. Whatever your condition is, we will guide you and support you. For $150, you know, we send you the PDG free guide. We also, you have unlimited calling for us for life. And we create a consult. We do a perfect day for you. It's an hour, but it doesn't end there. You can call us every day as often as you want. Eventually, you won't need us. To actually learn how to love, care, and respect yourself and honor yourself, it takes repetition, and you have to repeat it a lot because most of the time your friends, your family, and the people around you are not doing it. So you're trying to break away from the herd. And that's not easy. That's not easy. As soon as you do something different than the majority does or talk differently, the majority doesn't mean to, but they will attack. They will attack you. Everybody is very comfortable in their uncomfortable state. Lower back issues are mainly the large intestine, and you can believe it or yes or no, it doesn't matter. You can go to me, or you can go to Dr. Sage Wolf, or you can go to any of our practitioners we have worldwide. And if you have chronic low back pain or you have sciatic pain, I'll just tell you right now, I'm in Ixtapa, Mexico, everybody. If you're in Ixtapa, Mexico, and you want to come to my video room, I'll prove it to you. If you've got low back pain or sciatic pain, I'll work on the person. I'll work on them for 15 minutes. It's all about the SI joints that are in the low back. And I'll work on the side where the problem is, and I'll work on them for 15 minutes, and I'll do like 200 pulses with the Cellsonic, and I will get rid of 80 to 100% of their problem in one treatment. I said 20 minutes. I just need 20 minutes. We'll time it. I'll come on. I'll have the patient here. Whoever wants to come in, let me know. Call me. I'm also going to be going to, I'm doing a Canadian tour. I will be doing a US tour when I go to Stuart, Florida in June. I'm going to be going to lecture in about 4 different cities. I haven't picked them yet. It depends on my practitioners, because those who want to host me, I'll go and do it. And, but I will be going to Kelowna to do a lecture, British Columbia, Calgary to do a lecture, and then Manitoba to do a lecture. Yeah, there's the lectures right there. So now you have that, okay? I might be going to Toronto, yes. See, you see that slide says to Toronto, Ontario. I'll let everybody know I will probably doing a Toronto lecture. So anybody that's in the Ontario area, I'd suggest that you keep watching, and then you might want to drive to Toronto. I might do both of them there, Reverse the Irreversible, which is the night lecture, and then I'll be doing a day with the doc, and I'll be doing that also in Manitoba and Calgary. But in Kelowna, British Columbia, I will be doing Reverse the Irreversible in Kelowna, and then I'll be going to Oliver, to Trish, who is a master practitioner who owns a Cellsonic and a cardio med bed, and we'll be doing one day there called Day with the Doc, and you can check that out. Anyways, I'm going to run through some stuff. If you got to scoot, but I'm going to run through some things. Can you bring my slides up? Thanks for your patience, everyone. We're just getting it to work. Okay. All right, so if you take a look here, I'm going to go through this quickly and understand most of this. It's not a sales pitch. This is free. Free. So that's what it needs to be. And understand something. You know what? You don't give me any of your tax dollars, and you don't have to. And I'm going to give you more health than you'll ever get from your government or the medical system or any other system. All right? Just for fun, why don't we just play that challenging little game and see if I can come through for you. And this isn't sarcasm. I'm trying to tell you something. Okay? I really do love and care for you. You know what? The more that we can help people to love their life, love themselves, we change the whole world. We change the whole world. All right. So here's my perfect day guide. Let's just keep it on my slides, please, from now on. Okay, just do the slideshow here with me. Thank you. Where you're showing me. Rafa? Thank you. Just stay on me. I'll do it now. Thank you. So this is our non-surgical guide, and it's written is good or better than any university book on bodywork. And anybody who decides to go for Wolf non-surgical, we'll give you a money-back guarantee on your first treatment. That's just me. That's the thousands of practitioners we have around the world. This here's the perfect day guide. You can buy it for $95. If you try to run this off, go calculate it. It's 565 pages. It'll cost you anywhere from around $150 to $250. We sell it for $95 delivered to your door. Okay? All right. I promise you, it is the best book for somebody who wants to take action and really take their life back on all levels. Okay? This is where I am. Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo. We have a 5-star world healing and training retreat. Our retreat, if you were to come down and rent it, like, you know, a couple can come and they get the whole retreat to themselves. And it's a beautiful 3-bedroom retreat where we do all our therapies there. We have CardioMed bed. We have the Cellsonic. We have a structured saltwater pool that it will blow your mind. My structure unit's this big, and it's about a pool the size of this one room here, and the water's just so silk and healing. Okay, the outside, when you turn on the lights, it's just fairy lights everywhere, and we're right in the middle of a jungle. Okay, just 10 minutes away from, and we've got beautiful bikes for you. You can bike to the beach. Okay, you can bike downtown there's at least 50 restaurants. Okay, in Ixtapa. And there's lots of places to shop. There's 75 kilometers, otherwise 50 miles of bike trails, beautiful bike trails. It's the most peaceful, safest place you've ever seen. I'm not making this up. Okay, you know, I've been here for over 2 years, and we've had, without exaggerating, we've had thousands of people come here for our treatment and trainings, and also for our master classes. And a lot of people have actually come here and now they still live here. Go figure, right? Okay, so, but go check us out at dod5star.com, or if you want Dr. Sage Wolf to come to you anywhere around the world, go to personaltreatmentandtrainings.com. Okay, if you take a look here, here's all the different trainings we offer. I'll be on here tomorrow with Tora, and she's from Australia. She does the same type of personal treatment and trainings, but she's in Australia. And we'll be going into depth about this, because what people don't get is stop getting treated because you're getting mistreated. Start getting trained, because you want to become from patient to practitioner, from victim to hero. Oh my God. Just think if you could walk through life and you weren't worried about this and worried about that and just stressing out, losing your energy. Anyways, we do all kinds. We do individuals or groups. We do families. All right, organizations. We do one-on-one trainings. All right, we do couple treatment and training, and we're already like we're booked up for the next. We don't have any openings. Okay. Well, we're booked up for the next 8 weeks. There you go. And then we're in Stuart, Florida, and then we come back. And I think we've got a couple of openings. And we're already booking out as far as October. And there are some weeks, okay, that are in between the other trainings still, but there's not a lot left. And the reality is before we went and did our world tour, we were triple booked, okay? But we're not going to do that anymore. We're only going to be taking one treatment and training per house. That's it. That's it. Per center. That's it. Yeah, we want quality. We do couples training, treatment and training, personalized Wolf non-surgical training. That's where you actually come. You don't get certified in that 7 days. But, you know, the biggest popular one is couples treatment and training. They come for emotional training. If you want, you don't have to, but they come to learn the non-surgical to work on each other, so they become their own body workers. Isn't that cool? All right, they're never going to limp. They're never going to have a pain in their body, and I'm serious, because we teach them how to do the perfect day from the inside out and the outside in on emotional, physical, and nutritional level. And then we do the personalized Wolf non-surgical training, like I said. That can be a one-on-one, or it can be with a mother-daughter, or it can be with a whole group. Up to 12 people we can do. And that's at our treatment center, because we have a treatment center big enough that we could do a course for 50 people. Okay, and it's a beautiful, it overlooks the jungle, overlooks the pool. Okay, all right, yeah. And also when you come to us, you're going to be getting all organic juices and all organic food, okay? And a lot of people come and they go, well, I want this and this. And they can go do their own shopping at the fish market, and that's fresh fish from that day. Or they can go right down to the vegetable market and they can get all this organic stuff for themselves, or we'll do the shopping for you. Okay, just know that. There's so much that I won't say because I'll be here too long. I'll be going through this stuff tomorrow with Tora when we come on the show. When are we doing the show with Tora tomorrow? What time is that? Is that at? Thank you. Then you can come for, if you want, Wolf non-surgical certification. Believe it or not, we have 2 booked in the next 2 months where people are coming And we've got a clinic coming that sent 4 of their people because they don't have the time to come to a course. So they're coming to just get certified, just the 4 of them, and they're coming to stay in this retreat. And then we have athletic non-surgical. That's more for trainers and athletes. Pelvic restoration, that's where somebody comes for 5 to 7 days because their pelvis is in trouble. Ovarian cysts, fibroids, tumors, bladder infection, infertility. There's so much infection and pain that now it's moved over to their hips, and they're saying that they're going to need hip surgery, and we're going to prove you don't need it. You don't need hip surgery. If you've got Wolf Non-Surgical, if you've got our nutraceuticals, our Perfect Day diet, and you use the Cellsonic and the Cardio Med Bed, we're going to prove to you that that beef jerky, that calcification is going to be turned around. And that's the God's truth. Pain, you're going to see right away. Look at our testimonials. You know what? A story's only a lie until we prove it true. And just because you haven't heard it before doesn't make it a lie. Oh, he's a shyster. Oh, really? Because you haven't heard it before. Yeah. Oh, because why? Because you stayed mainstream. Oh, no, you took the beaten path. Now you're beat. Okay? All right? I don't work for anybody. I work for you. I work for somebody, for you. I don't answer to anybody except to you. Okay. Pain-free pelvic restoration and Wolf Non-Surgical. That's a 10-day program. Okay? This is about having a pain-free, right now. He messed up. This is actually pain-free pregnancy, okay? And pelvic and Wolf Non-Surgical, okay? Pain-free pregnancy and Wolf Non-Surgical is a 10-day course. And because they're learning the Wolf Non-Surgical, and they're going to learn how to have a pain-free pregnancy, which guess what? That means when the baby is in there, there's loving in the oven. And the baby's not kicking. The baby is not twisting the umbilical cord around its neck because it's trying to get rid of itself. The baby's not having one foot on either side of your vaginal canal because it says, hell no, I'm not coming out. And this is what the truth is. And understand something. If there's not loving in the oven, the cake's not going to rise and the baby's not going to be healthy. And you know what? I apologize as a man, but women, 90% of the health of that baby is on your shoulders. And understand something. Women don't eat right, think right when they're pregnant. We have taught how to terrorize them, and the men were not trained, or their spouses were not trained to not terrorize them and put them into fear. Okay, you men, you need to smarten up, and you need to get courage, and you need to make sure you don't stress out your beautiful partner when she's pregnant, and you don't even know how to do it. Everything is about vibration with a little spirit being coming into the womb. They don't understand English, but they understand vibration and understand something. And people don't like this. And this is where I'm going to get bashed. And this is it. When a baby comes out with some disorder, that disorder was created on a vibrational and a nutritional level. You can take that to the bank and nobody's ever going to talk about it. Nobody's ever going to talk about it because that is the downfall of the human race. Oh, you know what? Why don't you come on and challenge me? Seriously. And then bring some women that have had children and let's talk about the different conditions. And then we'll take a look at the different personalities of the parents. And then we'll take a look at what their diet's like while the baby was in there, which diet doesn't really matter, does it? Okay? There's a few things that matter, but not much matters. It doesn't matter that the parents haven't been trained unconditional love for themselves and each other. It doesn't matter that they don't understand that vibration is everything, whether it's in the food, the drink, or in the relationship. This is what we teach. Okay. Yeah. And then we have, okay, pain-free pregnancy, right? 10 days. And we have the pain-free pelvic restoration and Wolf Non-Surgical 10 days. Because whether you believe it or not, the pain-free pelvic restoration, how many people know that prostate cancer has gone up 400% with men in the last 10 years? How many people know that? How many people know that 47% of all women drip in their panties throughout the day? Okay? How many people know that most women don't even know it, they have ovarian cysts, and those are just bags of pus from pooping in their pelvis? Would you rather have ovarian cancer or ovarian cysts? How many people know that most infertility is caused because of infection and inflammation? This is the God's truth. So don't try to force it. Just get yourself well. How many people know that women can, when they lose a baby, it's because, guess what? They didn't have the pelvis to hold the weight. They didn't have the health to create a healthy baby. And nature was sloughing it off. It didn't work right. You didn't mix the right ingredients. Why don't we think? Why aren't we logical? Why aren't we knowing that we were created by God Almighty? And that, guess what? Man is a manipulator, okay? And he wants to make money off your back. And understand something. No better place is to poison the mothers, okay, on an emotional and physical level, to set up a crippling victimization situation for the child right at the very beginning. The other things we do is personal healing and relaxation getaway. I just want to eat right, think right, and have the best time of my life, and end up saying, what a healing, what a holiday. And then we also do advanced water fast healing retreat, where we do all our body work. We do the light therapy. We have the most powerful infrared chair, and the infrared light will go 17 inches into your rectum, into your vagina, all the way up 17 inches into your spinal column. It's all about the healing. We have another one that you can put anywhere on your body that's just as strong. We have Avicens in every room. We have Biotrons in every room. We have the strongest PMF that is known, called a sentient element, that has thousands of different frequencies that you can set and you can utilize. We also have a PMF mat that when you're on the cardio med bed, we'll also put a magnet, okay, underneath the mat that you're laying on to intensify the mat by 10 times. Then you'll put your hand into an Avicen. You'll put the Biotron light on, and we'll put the cardio med bed on that will actually can get rid of impotence. It can reverse a person with that's set up for heart disease and needs heart surgery. All we need is 35 hours on the bed to prove that we can create a whole new set of arteries. Somebody that has neuropathy and pain in their body, somebody that has pelvic inflammation, or they have to go for surgery, we'll do the Cellsonic Wolf non-surgical, and we'll also do this, the cardio med bed, and we'll prove to you in the first day when you come that you'll all be, when you go to bed, you'll be considering canceling the surgery, because you are the creation that you've been looking for, okay? And you can think, what a pitch this is. Well, okay, think whatever you want, but the cardio med bed is the most powerful thing to bring back perfect circulation, and the Cellsonic can shut down stage 4 inflammation in a pulse. It can decalcify the mitochondria. That means that they will go from 300 spins to 2,500 spins, which means they will make the 85 kilograms of actual ATP for a 75 kilogram man, which means you'll have enough energy to get the heck out of bed and get your life going again. You can't come to us, Dr. Sage Wolf will come to you. He's right now in Puerto Rico. He was in Florida. Before he was there, he was in Australia, and he'll be back here because he has personal treatment and trainings to get at. I'm doing a personal treatment and training right now, and I'm going to be leaving to go to Canada to do my lecture tour, and he's going to be coming here to do the personal treatment and trainings. This is our home. This is where we live. Okay. Again, there's the tour if you want to go back and take a look at it, or you can go to events on my doctordetox.com, or call the 800 number. They'll help you out. Okay. Our next Wolf non-surgical, whole life coach certification, and pelvic restoration course is June the 5th in Stuart, Florida. And then we're going to Coffs Harbour. We have canceled Greece. Does anybody know why I canceled Greece? Can you put the video back on me? So we need to tell Nat to take that off. I canceled Greece, but I am going to come to Greece, I promise. But it's only 1 month before the elections, and the elections, there's a 50-50 chance that the elections will even happen. I think there's going to be total chaos. And if the elections happen, there's going to be total chaos, because that's the way it is, because through chaos, they're able to manipulate and sneak things in and to keep up with their strategized program. At least they strategize, right? We don't, we should, we don't though. We can't come together, can we? Because you don't like blacks, you don't like yellows, or you don't like reds, or you don't like me, okay? Or you don't like broccoli, you don't like something. But the reality is that, you know, too bad we couldn't come together. So there will be chaos. So I told Perry in Greece, my apologies. But if I go and I get everybody booking their flights and we book everything, then I'm going to be the person. I cannot put money first. I have to put people. And just know this, they need chaos, because there will always be chaos in this planet. And the reality is I don't care how much chaos there is. I'm going to smile. I'm going to stay in the present moment. And I'm going to know that this is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. And guess what? And that the government's not broken, the medical system's not broken, and the system works just fine. And guess what? I'm awake, and thank you very much. Okay. So then after that, we will be going here to Ixtapa. Now in Ixtapa, we'll be having 3 courses here a year, because it's more freer here than everywhere else. And I believe this is the first world living. Okay? That's why I'm here. And the reality is I'll also be doing 1 in Canada to 2 in Canada, and I'll be doing 1 to 2 in the States. But I have to let the crap hit the fan, because it's going to. And that's what happens when you buy into a BS scenario, a bad belief system scenario. Okay? All right, so if you're interested, please contact Debbie or Dina and Stuart. And they're master practitioners, and they're amazing. So if you want therapy, you can contact them, or you can contact them about our courses. You can contact Tora Klein, who will be on my show tomorrow. Okay? She will be on my show tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about personal treatment and trainings in more depth, and giving you some instances of what happens when people come. And we'll be in Coffs Harbour near the end of July, and doing all 3 courses there. Wolf Non-Surgical, Whole Life Coach Certification, and Pelvic Restoration. And then in Ixtapa, Mexico, just call me. This is not right. You call me on if you call the 800 number, just call me on extension 5. Talk to me. Just say, hi, Daryl. Don't do the doctor thing, okay? If you want to do the doctor thing, you go ahead. But don't do the doctor thing because I'm up here and you're down here. If it makes you comfortable, do it. But remember something, we are equal. We are equal, okay? And we need to stay there. Call me Daryl. Call me whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. And trust me, I've been called everything, okay? All right. So here's the courses, here's the prices. I'm not going to hide them. We brought the price down by 30%, and then we went and changed it to the currency of the country that we're in. You may not believe this, but people in Australia now pay $2,500 less for their course. Now you're going to think, well, wow, they were gouging people before? No. We had it at a point where we were making great money. And we know that going through this recession thing, they call it inflation, which is another way of taxation, that we need to bring our prices down as far as we can to ensure that people can come, because everybody else put their prices up. Go take a look at my old prices. Why would I bring them down? Not because we aren't popular. It's because, guess what? They're putting a squeeze on you. What you could afford before, you can't afford now. And I don't want you to go and push your dream off a cliff if it's to come to us. And if it wasn't to come to us, it doesn't matter what price it is. But we can't go any lower. That's all I know. Again, we're back to the Perfect Day Guide. Download it. It's free. I'm telling you something. You're getting the most powerful, take action, personal book you've ever taken. And you read the first chapter. Go into the first chapter and then tell me that I didn't, in one chapter, wrap up what's going on in the world for you. Okay? And then guess what? If you have a testimonial, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, okay, anything at all, man, you just made a blender drink instead of having your potato chips. It doesn't matter. It could be about a product. It can be about a course. It can be about, you went into my library and did a master class. Okay? You heard something and it was about clapping and you clapped away a bump, a lump, a tumor. You think I'm kidding? Okay. All right. Just know this. They don't want you to touch it. I want you to more than touch it. I want you to love it. Okay? All right? And yeah, I'll be on every week, yakking off like I do. And guess what, everyone? They do not like this. They do not like this. This is called Sovereign Indigenous Practitioner Protection. Yeah, that's right. A medical doctor and a natural health practitioner can get adopted by the Taino tribe and get their doctorate in indigenous medicine. Now you're outside of the court. That's right. So you know what? They're not sure what to do with me anymore. A year and a half ago, they attacked me and said that I'm a threat to human life on this planet. They're not sure what to do. They spent over $200,000 of taxpayers' money, and I'm telling you the truth. Okay? They did. And here I am still. So the reality is this, is guess what? Please, the people that you know that are in trouble, they're not in trouble. They're just coming against the powers to be, even though they don't want to. I'm not into a fight. That's just a distraction, and I'm not going to fight with them. You wouldn't believe how many times that I've been challenged. That's all. I'm going to just say challenged. But with Indigenous protection, I've got it. And the reality is you can have it if you want. I put this together with Dr. Ben Aguirre, and he is out of Puerto Rico, and that's where our Braveheart Nation University is out of. And this is where the Indigenous protection comes from, and it holds water all over the world. That's right. It was passed by United Nations, even though they're a bunch of bad buggers, but it was still recognized by them. And it's been tested all the way to the Supreme Court. Thank you. And there you go. Okay? And then my Braveheart Nation app, I already told you, I'm not going to get into it. It's said to be the most powerful app that has been created in health. And this app was created by all women. And I made sure of it. It had to be created by all women because it had to have a heart. It had to have feeling. It had to have caring. And it had to be abundant in its giving. And understand that, okay? So this whole show is just about this. It's about self-care and self-love. I don't want you to, I'm not going to hold you for ransom. I'm going to give you everything that I know. Everything that I've been taught, I'm going to give you. And you don't even have to book a consult. But you will want to do a consult because you'll pay $150 from my master practitioners and you'll get lifetime support. Do you know how much that's worth? Don't waste your money. And then people will call and say, I want Dr. Wolf. Well, I'm $400 US. Why? Okay, I'll tell you why. Because I believe I am worth it and I'm worth more. But the reality is the people that really want me will come to me. And I don't want to take on more patients, okay, or more clients that I can't be there for. And if you check with any patient client, when they call, I call them back if I can't answer the phone. And I'll do it. I will be there for you. Not false promise. I don't need to false promise at all. I'm going to live up to that. And when I can't live up to it, I'll stop it. You got to fly. First, love yourself. There it is right there. And you know what? You take it like it's some kind of just fortune cookie. Fortune cookie saying, first love yourself. He. No. If you love yourself unconditionally, nobody can put a stranglehold on you. They can't tell you what to do. They wouldn't have you in fear. And just know that which created the universe has always loved you and never judged you. Did you hear what I just said? And they made that up. They made it up. How does it feel? Does it empower you? Does it empower you? And somebody told you this? Okay. So together we are stronger. You just know it. Together we are stronger. There is no color. There is no religion. There is no difference between me and you. Together we are stronger. We were created by the same creator. And I'm not ever going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. I probably made up most of this. And I'll make up some more stuff. Because guess what? If I have to make up my own stuff so that I can live in the moment and own it and have the most beautiful life and not be sick, because I don't get sick. I'm going to stay there. So you keep your beliefs, and you keep the beliefs of many, but understand something, okay? How's it looking for the majority? I'm just telling you. Take a good look at your beliefs, just like you'd look at a menu and just say, I don't want to eat that anymore. And focus on what you do want to eat. That will feed your spirit. That will rise you, okay? Your soul's not for sale. Again, here's all the contact information for me. And take a look, the PGD free, if you want, the guide. Sovereign Indigenous Protection, go to practitionerprotection.com. If you want to come to us in Mexico, or if you want to come here and don't come to us and you're coming to Mexico, give me a call. And just know this, in 8 weeks, I will have a whole list of plumbers, electrician, people that will sew your clothes, they'll garden, they'll look after your pool, lawyer, dentist, the greatest taxi cab driver, where to rent a car, where to ride a horse, where to get a bicycle. I'll have everything on there. Absolutely everything. Where's the hardware store you should go to? What are the best restaurants? What kind of food do they have? All of that's going to go up there. Why? Because we're Braveheart Nation. We must give more than we take. And we can do that because we are unlimited beings. I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will always trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself. First and foremost, before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Because I am, I can. I am love. I am healed. And I am Braveheart. So expect me to roar. But don't expect tantrums. And don't expect me to protest against things that are not worth my energy. Don't expect me to focus on anything that I do not want. Do not think I am going to focus on anything I do not want to become. I will only focus on what I want, and you can call it selfishness, and I will call it being centered into self and rocking my world. How many people will come to the end of their life and go, what's missing here? What's missing here? There's something not right here. That's because you didn't find your authentic self. You didn't stand up for yourself. You didn't have an inner standing that was inside of you, that there's a God spot in your heart, and that you were supposed to process everything through your heart, not through your mind. It's a landmine. From 0 to 7, your subconscious is just a sponge, and you're taking in everything. And it doesn't matter how low vibrational and twisted mommy and daddy are, or the religion, or the school, or the people, or the so-called adults that are all adulterated. And I'm not saying you got to throw it all out, but most people will never do their homework. But let's cool it all out here before we end. We got one more question. Do you have a protocol for PTSD? Whoa, dude, there is no PTSD. There is no PTSD. There is no PTSD. Okay? There's only shell shock. Okay, so when you went to war, it used to be called shell shock because the shells went off. And you're actually over there helping to kill people. Yes, you get that. How many wars did we fight that we needed to and we weren't bankers' wars? Please. Are you like crazy? Do you want stats? I'll give you stats. I'll give you stats. There's been 55 wars since the Vietnam War, and they were all bankers' wars. Thank you. Oh, people just think, why do you do this? I don't know. I'm a troublemaker. Anyways, there's no PTSD. It's called shell shock. They call it PTSD. Do you know why? Because they want to make it into a condition. It's not a condition. Everybody was shell shocked. We all came here. It's a bloody war everywhere. You got your mother and father fighting. When you go to school, you're fighting to hold on to your spirit. I don't want to keep going into other things because I know I'll get thrown at with tomatoes. But the reality is everybody was shell-shocked. So the reality is now you got to get rid of, you don't have PTSD, you don't have some kind of disease. You have a belief system that keeps getting fed, and you're going to a psychologist, psychiatrist, or some kind of emotional work therapy that wants to go back there and try to unravel and make that right, you can forget it. You need to learn how to love and care for yourself first and foremost and understand that. Yeah, but I'm having nightmares. I'm just having nightmares from what happened. I just can't stop this. Oh, yes, you could. Get yourself a Braveheart love band. 3, 2, 1, I got this. Okay? Start doing belly button therapy. And start clapping your shoulders and your neck and your face and your head with my clapper, okay, to get rid of all the tension and the anxiety and the program in there. Go take a look at that. Okay? All right. Stop talking about how you were traumatized by something and retelling the story all the time and then going to a person. How many people know that the same mental health care book, psychologists, psychiatrists, and anybody that's government approved that they use costs $14 million, and they paid 20 people to write it. And who paid them? Big Pharma. And that is the main book that's used. First of all, why don't you walk around with a slight smile on your face? Why don't you sit down tonight and go and write the Braveheart Heroes contract on the way you would like to see yourself, where you would like to live, who you would like to live with, what does your life look like now? If you were the controller of everything and you could have anything, what would that look like? And then let me see you, before you write that, go into the mirror and do the Braveheart oath that I just did. And let me see you put that on the mirror, and I want you to state it 10 times, and every time you do it from your heart with more emotion. And picture when your child was born, or when your child almost died of something, or when something happened and you know what, it just almost took your heart apart. And then grab that onto that emotion and try to hold on to that emotion and see if you can love yourself for the first time in your life. Look in that mirror. You don't even know what love is. You know what, I'm going to tell you something. People don't know what love is. And when they come to my course, My Whole Life Coach, oh, I know what love is. Oh yeah. After the second day, they know they don't know what love is. They don't know what love is. And it's called self-love. You got to self-serve it. If you can't become it, you can't deliver it properly. It's not love what people do today. You fill up my heart, I'll fill up your heart. We're not some kind of gas tank. You need to be tankful already, and that's you filling up your own heart with unconditional love for yourself and not buying into any bullshit about rules, whether you made the grade or you're good enough or you're evil or you're a sinner or you're a loser. I am so done with all of it. So this is why you may not want to have anything to do with me, because you're so into the sinner thing or the failure thing. That's just a belief. So let me see you do the Braveheart oath. Morning and night, 10 times, out loud and proud. And with every time, you do it with more love. Okay, you remember when you fell in love the first time? Remember when you fell in love with that girl, that boy? Okay, I want you to do it, that feeling for yourself. And then tell me that you know what self-love and self-care is even about. And then I want you to do it 10 times. And then I want you to then take a look at writing, okay, the Braveheart Heroes contract, where you write a contract on how you will treat yourself, how you will feed yourself, how you will drink, how you will think, how you will love yourself. And where do you live? And what does it look like? And understand something. Everything that you have ever thought about, okay, whether it was unconscious or subconscious, you already got it. Unless you're going to change your belief systems, you're never going to change your personality, so you're never going to change your reality. And that's how that goes. We're a Love Band, Life Band. You don't want to get one of these from me? It says 3, 2, 1, I got this, Braveheart. Then just go, and if you order any product, we'll give you a couple free. I'm sure they're still doing it. And the reality is, if you don't want to do that, then go get a hairband. Not an elastic, but go buy a bunch of hairbands from the dollar store. That's how I started years and years ago with that. And I would be doing this 30 times an hour because I hit bottom. I didn't want to kill myself, but I said, I'm not living on this planet like this. My father, he told me I could have it all, but then he told me I wasn't all. He told me that I didn't make the grade. Okay? He was a born-again Christian pastor, carpenter. Yeah, that's true. And the reality is this, God love him. But guess what? I got rid of beliefs that don't work. I got rid of beliefs that he told me that have existed for tens or thousands of years, and they were written by blah, blah, blah. And understand something, I rewrit my own story. And if you think that because I wrote a story of unconditional love and care for myself, I'm going to hell, you've already put yourself there. The reality is this. Be the storyteller. You decide what kind of actor you want to be and what kind of movie you want. Do you want it to be a love adventure hero story, or do you want it to be a thriller, horror story, drama, trauma? And most of you are writing a drama, trauma every day. But you're not aware of that. And God loves you anyway. And that's why I'm telling you, whether you like me, you don't like me. You think that we should go to war with our families, our friends, or other countries and other people we don't even know. I love you anyway, but it's still dysfunctional. Okay? All right? You're not your beliefs, but you could be. Someone else's belief, you have a disease. Someone else's beliefs when you're not at ease. So do as you please. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back here this afternoon for BHN Power Pack Show, where I'll be bringing on some beautiful ladies who will be talking about how they went from wives, accountants, restaurateurs, many different places, and now they're New World practitioners rocking their world and actually truly showing people how to heal faster, stay there, than the majority of their therapists in the world. And that's the truth. You may not like it, because guess what? You might have went to school in 4 years or 6 years, but the reality is this. Most of the stuff I learned that's really powerful never came from school. Remember something. You are the genius. You are the lover. You are the hero. God bless. 3, 2, 1. We're stronger when we're together.